The Royal Rumble is just less than an hour away, but before we can concentrate on that big premium live event, the first WWE event of the new year, we're going to rumble into the McMahon allegations one last time. We put a poll up, you guys have voted, you guys have had your say on the matter. We've seen a lot of negative shit said about McMahon, and we've seen a few people defend McMahon, and we've seen a few people stay neutral. So we're going to look at all that today, and we're going to find out the truth. What the hell is going on here? Now, before we get into the result of the poll, or before we get into the comments, I'm just going to quickly give my opinion on the situation. Now, of course, I don't know shit, so this doesn't go 100%. This is not factual, but to me, and the evidence that I've seen, it simply looks like this woman was having an affair with McMahon that she was happy with, as long as it was financially beneficial to herself and she was receiving gifts. As soon as the money stopped, as soon as the gifts stopped, then all of a sudden it wasn't consensual and she wasn't happy with the arrangement, and it turns into basically accusing McMahon of abuse, accusing McMahon of assault. But we've seen the text messages that she was happy to go through with this, and it's not like she was abducted, she wasn't being imprisoned. This woman was willingly coming to work every day, knowing that she was going to be getting involved with McMahon. Now, if McMahon truly was abusing her and she wasn't okay with it, you would not come to work. I don't care what anyone says, you would find a new job. People that are genuine rape victims don't accept gifts from their abusers, and they certainly don't willingly go along with it. So when you look at the evidence, it just stacks up to me that this woman was more than happy to go along with this stuff while it was benefiting her, and as soon as it stopped, as soon as the money stopped, she has a different version of offence of what happened. Now, is McMahon a saint? I don't think so. I don't think anyone's ever claimed that. Could he have possibly been shitting on people? I mean, that maybe McMahon's into that. We've seen a lot of poop in WWE in years from shite. The dog poop. We've seen shite fall through the ceilings. We've seen British Bulldog be rock bottomed onto a big pile of steaming shite. So, I mean, it's not beyond the imagination. It's not beyond the possibility here that McMahon does indeed like shite. But it's also not beyond the possibility that this woman was happy to go along with that, as long as she was being rewarded financially. So, for me, this seems more like prostitution. This seems more like some sort of sugar baby relationship where she was happy to go with this because it was beneficial and financially profitable for her. And I don't think you can just simply switch that around just because the money stops or possibly you regret it later in line. I think we need to hold people accountable for their actions, and I think women need to be held accountable for their actions too. And for me, that's the situation here. It sounds like this woman was happy to go along with it. Then when the money stops, she's no longer happy, and now she's trying to get even more money by painting this to be something that it's not. I mean, even in the text messages, she's referring to McMahon as baby. I mean, if you're being abused, if you're being raped, I don't think that is how you would address your abuser or your capture. And like I said, she wasn't captured, she wasn't being imprisoned, she wasn't locked up, chained in a basement. She was willingly coming to work every single day. So, yeah, for me, it doesn't quite add up here. Is McMahon, a bit of a strange individual? 100%. But is he a sex trafficker? I don't think so.
It's better to shit on than be shat on, damn it. This is some good shit. Innocent until proven guilty. I think there's a lot of shady things going on here. I don't even think the text messages are Vince. I can't fathom that Vincent Kennedy McMahon is 74 years of age, is texting like that. And maybe he is. Maybe he's into all this, and here, if he is into shitting on people, if it's true or not, and if it was consensual, he's been doing a wee bit in my estimation, because I think that's fucking weird. But the reality is, I think it was all consensual, and she spat the dummy once the payment stopped.
We've only seen one text message from her to McMahon, and it was calling him baby, and how she was going to be ready next week to effectively have a threesome with him and John Laurinaitis. Be interesting to see if the other text messages would get released, but so far there's only been one from her viewpoint. And again, like I said, You wouldn't refer to someone that's abusing you or like raping you as baby. You wouldn't be accepting gifts. You know, you'd be wanting to get as far away if possible.
Yeah, and these people that are crying about, oh, she lost her parents, they groomed her. No, she's trying to sleep her way to the top and making money. That's the fucking reality here. She stopped getting money, and she's accusing them of all this trafficking / rape shit. That's what's going to happen. It'll never come out like that. Even if it does, they'll just brush it under the carpet.
What will happen
Vince McMahon's reputation will be tainted forever.
And she'll get...
the other 12 guys, the dildos called Taker and Mark Henry, they're out the window.
And she'll get a big payout.
Aye.
And her life will be fine, and I think that's what will happen. Anyway, 384 votes are in. 47% of you people believe yes, the evidence is overwhelming. 13% of you people say no chance in hell, there is no proof. And 40% of you people say let it play out, we need more information. I mean, right now, I'm probably I'm more in the 40% category, but I also don't think there's any proof. We haven't really seen any proof, and it's all one-sided so far. I don't see how anyone can really say the evidence is overwhelming. All we've seen is this woman's version of events. Well, McMahon hasn't had a chance to defend himself. She hasn't offered any proof apart from some text messages, and they've not been like legitimately examined or whatnot. We don't know if they're even from Vince, and even if they were, there's nothing really. Now, you can argue there's some sick shit in the text messages, and I wouldn't deny that. I mean, I think shiting and all that stuff, that is fucking gross. The only place you should do a shit is in the toilet. You shouldn't be doing it on someone's head. But it's not illegal, and if someone is consenting to that, if someone's weird and they get off on that, if they've got someone that is allowing them to willingly shit on them, then that's between them. As long as it's between two consenting adults and no one's getting hurt, then they're entitled to do what they want. As much as I disagree and think it's fucking horrific and manky.
Aye, it's between two consenting adults, and there's nothing in the text that really suggests rape or non-consensual to me. That I can think of. I read through pretty much all of them. I guess the one line about him saying that she won't say no when my cock is down her throat. Alright, that's a wee bit... That's the only one I would say, but then we need proof that this is actually McMahon, right? It's either voice tapings of him saying, oh yes, me and Johnny and the 12 other guys gang raped her. Then, okay, that's proof. But see the people, the 47 here, how's the evidence overwhelming?
No, but a lot of people are into that shite as well, so I mean, I think text messages, it's hard to say. I mean, it's almost like that could be like a role play or something like that.
I know, it could be, but we actually need tangible proof here. We can't just go off text messages.
Yeah, so I think...
That's why I think this case, it's never going to be a foregone conclusion either side. It's going to be somewhere in the middle.
I agree. Anyway, let's get to the comments, see what you guys think. I just think it's crazy. It's 2024. It's not just McMahon. It's pretty much anytime a woman accuses a guy, then he's automatically guilty. And we've seen many times that a lot of these women, they do lie. I mean, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, that was probably the big one. And even then, Johnny Depp's reputation hasn't really recovered from that.
Yeah. But also, let's talk about Brock Lesnar. All he did was get sent a video. And he's like, yeah, bitch. He replied saying, yeah, bitch. And he's made it as like...
And people want Brock
Lesnar
for that? Cancelled forever? I mean, I don't get it. Jimmy's Ruffled said, he's gone, so it's irrelevant. Goodbye, my poopy pal.
My poopy pal.
Brian McDonald said, grown women are not sex trafficked. They choose to be prostitutes. She was cool with it until she wasn't. It's Vince's fault for not paying what was agreed upon. He'll have no fury.
Oh, testify.
Now, I don't think the money was agreed upon. I'm pretty sure what happened was, in my opinion, from what I've seen, like, McMahon was giving her money, and McMahon was buying her gifts, and she was happy with the arrangement. But when the arrangement came to an end, he offered her an amount just to... I think it was Linda that found out and put an end to it. So he offered her hush money, essentially, and she wasn't happy with the amount. I don't think there was $3 million agreed upon. I think $3 million is what she wanted, and McMahon was offering her $1 million.
Aye.
I highly doubt McMahon agreed before getting into this affair that as soon as I end this affair, I will pay you $3 million. That's not what happened.
No, of course it's not what
happened. From
what
I've seen, is McMahon made her an offer, and she didn't like the offer. She was being greedy. She wanted more.
More often than not, I see if someone has been like raped, not a number ain't going to do it. They want justice.
Yeah, like, anytime you see that, right, I don't really see it in person, like, but, like, movies and stuff like that, TV series, the person, like, it just wants to escape and be free, or they want their, like, their capture dead or something like that.
Yeah.
They don't be like, alright, well, here, if you give me a certain amount of money, it's okay. You don't see that.
No, you don't. You absolutely don't. And
so her, you know what I mean, her arguing over, no, I want 3 million. And this is only all came out because she didn't get the amount of money she wanted. Now, if this was true and she really was being abused, wouldn't you just bring that out and try and bring this guy down? But you can clearly see it's all about the money, and anyone that can't see that is, I don't know, I think you're blind or you're hating McMahon.
It's probably the same sort of freaks that are alright with drag shows for children.
Yeah, Board now said, none of them quite imply. I just think he has become more trouble than he is worth. Even outside of these allegations, it feels a good time to move out of the Vince era. Can't really deny that. I mean, Vince does come with a lot of baggage now. He's had a lot of allegations go against him in the past, but he's never actually been accused of anything.
I don't know why people are celebrating though, like, oh, this is the first ever show without the McMahons in, like, what? I think it was like some 70 odd years, 80 years. How's that a thing to celebrate? To me, that's tragic. It's like, WWE's dead. It's like, it almost feels like brand new today.
Yeah, it's like a weird way. Different company. Sahil PC2KR said, we all know Vince is kind of a creep, but for it to get to the point where the other party is participating in threesomes and getting shat on while staying in the relationship shows that a lot of this was consensual. I mean, I agree. Like, I'm not defending McMahon or saying that he's a great person, or I'm not saying he doesn't have not a wicked, nasty side, but I don't think this woman's a victim. I think this woman's a greedy, manipulative liar that just wants to profit as much as she can for this. And when she thought that she could get more money by leaking this information, that's what she chose to do. But we see people on Reddit and Twitter basically saying, oh, this poor woman, she's a victim, I don't see that. She's a...
No, it's quite incredible. See, because Vince McMahon and people's...
high-profile prostitute.
No, but see, because Vince McMahon's, like, in your opinion, Vince McMahon, all these marks, see, because he's booked incorrectly over, like, the past decade and he's buried people, that's why they think he's guilty. They don't even need to look at the facts of the text message. They just see this headline and they automatically assume, oh, he jobbed out LA Knight. He jobbed out Daniel Bryan. He jobbed out this guy. He changed Gunther's name to a World War II Nazi commandant. That means he's guilty because they're fucking brain dead, man. They're actually mentally disabled.
What sounds better, Gunther or Walter?
I know, but that's what it is.
Yeah, it's like if your favourite wrestler does something like this, you'll automatically defend them. But if someone you don't like in the wrestling business does this, you will automatically deem them guilty. It's fucking insane. Let's move on.
Oh, but when Kenny Omega wrestles a 6-year-old Rio and he's got his hands over, that's brilliant.
Edward Morgan said, innocent until proven guilty, simple as, must go to a fair trial. I don't think it'll ever go to a trial. Unfortunately, what I think will happen is this woman will make a lot of money. I think she'll get millions for this. I think there'll be a payoff. They'll probably sign, I think there was already like some form of NDA signed, but I think they'll probably sign another one, and she will probably get, like I said, millions of dollars, and her reputation will be okay. She will go about living her life. She'll live her life as a millionaire. She will live comfortable. She'll live rich. She won't come out of this with a bad reputation. And she'll just be able to live and afford a life, in my opinion, that she doesn't deserve.
Is it safe to say, though, that Vince just doesn't have an awful lot of money now? Like, he's got money, but he's left the company. He can't sell steaks. He can't do anything. How much money's Vince got now? The fact that he's actually resigned?
I seen his value at 2.7 billion.
Fuck, alright then.
So...
when we seen Trump the other day have to pay 83 million, I don't think it'd be anywhere near that.
Which is another bullshit case. I mean, just look at that woman as if Trump was going anywhere near her. Fuck.
I know.
Even Trump said himself, she's not my type. Not anyone's fucking type, but, I mean, this just goes to show if they want to take you down, man, they can pretty much do it. William Memrick said, this sounds like a mutual agreement, then a cash-in by woman, but it's early and new info can change the situation. Omega Mark says, pretty much how it looks to me.
Why is that name saying that?
I tell you what, I'm actually proud of our fan base and our subscribers and, the people that watch our stuff, because we all seem to be in agreement that we're not really defending Vince or saying that he's a great guy. No one's saying that, and we're not saying that what he's been up to here isn't shady. But it does appear to be a mutual agreement, and this woman is trying to twist it and turn it into something that it wasn't, because she wasn't happy with the amount of money that she got.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. I can't see another way about it.
I just don't see her as a victim. I see her as someone that was quite happy to go along with what McMahon wanted.
She came forward in the first few weeks of this. It's much more believable. But no, it's years later.
When she never got the payout that she wanted. So, Christian Borrero says, yes, there are evidence and they need to be more information. Bluebells Blue said, how can people say that evidence is overwhelming when it's simply screen grabs that could have came from anywhere and more often than not over the last years are constantly being found to be doctored? Not to mention the accuser is a known mental case. Let it play out. The reaction to this has been ridiculous so far. Personally, I can't imagine someone like him would be so dumb as to send these messages and have this kind of thing out there in writing. Let's see. I actually completely agree with that. Yeah. I mean, McMahon doesn't seem like a... People can say what they want, right? McMahon doesn't seem like a moron to me.
No.
He doesn't seem like a guy that would easily like put out this sort of evidence and send texts that could put him in a situation like this. And I just personally...
Which points more to it's the truth, though. I think if he is sent these messages out, it proves it's consensual. If they were doing some shady stuff backstage...
Yeah, he wouldn't be sending these messages.
Yeah. Because they wouldn't leave a paper trail. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah, next comment. Tape or subliminals. Because the majority of the fans don't care about evidence, he is guilty to them no matter what. Their mindset is no different than false accusers. Again, I agree with all these guys. Fucking proud here. We're proud on Fall Wrestling.
I've seen people on Twitter saying Triple H's got nothing to do with this because we need him to, like, save WWE.
Yeah, I've seen that as well, right?
See, what the fuck?
See if McMahon's guilty, then a lot of people... see if she worked there. I mean, how would Triple H not know?
Of course he would know. See if Linda knows.
And Linda, I mean...
Stephanie knows. Right? There's a reason why Stephanie and Shane... This is... I think Stephanie and Triple H both voted him to want him out, because they knew this controversy was probably coming. So they obviously knew.
But the way people react, it's like Bruce Pritchard, oh, he knew. He needs to be fired. But Triple H, no, he's booking good wrestling. He didn't know. Triple H needs to stay. It was nothing to do with him. People are sick that something as serious as this, they will decide whether you're guilty or not just based on what you did in fucking wrestling.
It is.
Like McMahon's like...
People but it goes the same for Benoit. Say Benoit had the in-ring ability of Road Dogg. People would be like... Oh, there's no place in the Hall of Fame for him. He couldn't work, and he killed his family.
Yeah, no, people literally defend Benoit because he was one of the best technical wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
Now, I feel sad for the Benoit family, and I almost feel a wee bit sad for Benoit because the situation fucking sucks. But at the end of the day, I mean, the guy's a murderer. He can't be in the Hall of Fame. It's really that simple. Yeah. And I do feel bad that he had the brain of an 85-year-old, you know, and I don't think Benoit was this, like, inherently like evil person. I don't think he lived 38 years on the planet as an evil man, but what he did in his final moments was evil, therefore he can't be in the Hall of Fame. He was a great wrestler. Like I said, I feel sorry for the Benoit family. I can even feel a bit sorry for Benoit due to the circumstances that he, you know, killed his family then killed himself. That's a shit way to go. But people like you said, I mean, if a guy had the wrestling ability of Road Dogg, no one would be defending Benoit. No one would be caring that he isn't in the Hall of Fame. It's all hypocrite. It's all fucking crazy, man, that people will judge you based on wrestling. I mean, who cares? Like, seriously?
No. That's exactly it.
Like, I don't get it. I mean, fuck. It's mental to me. Stevie G... 0 versus 0 says, I'm sorry, but there needs to be more info and possible actual proof, not she said. Whenever things like this surface about Vince, everyone is quick to judge, whereas others will get the innocent until proven guilty. Understandably, this is because he has done himself no favours. This is absolute next level. Also, in the past, he stayed silent on some accusations. This time, he was very quick to make a statement. Also, a lot of people who judge on the wrestling tribalists who believe literally anything about Vince, but if it turns out to be true, then he needs to pay for his crimes. I mean, I agree with all that. The only thing I don't agree with is that everyone else is getting the innocent until proven guilty stick, because I think, I get what you're saying, but I think the world has turned so crazy, like in the past decade, that if you're a man, you're automatically deemed guilty and you have to prove your innocence. And even by the time you do prove your innocence, your reputation's still fucked.
Character's dragged through the
See, once you're accused of this, right, it doesn't matter. See if like 10 million people see the news that you've been accused of something, maybe only 5 million people will see the news that you were, proven to be innocent.
Yeah.
Or some people will just see you were accused and they won't even believe you.
No one is going to remember her. Everyone's going to remember McMahon. It's blasted everywhere. See, here in the UK, things I haven't reported on wrestling in fucking decades are reporting on this.
But your name's tainted. See, once you get accused of something, even if you do get proven innocent, you're always going to be the person that was accused.
Yep.
So, no, that's what it is. Joe Mixon said, here's the thing, nobody forced her to sign the NDA and take the money. She's just mad he stopped paying the payments. Is Vince a sleazeball? But the WWE Hall of Fame has people in it that are way worse, like 2 murderers already. Again, I agree with Joe Mixon. I think Vince is a sleazeball. I mean, what age is this woman, by the way? Is she not, young? I've seen people saying she's 50. I think she's, in her late 20s.
I don't know what age she is. Both her parents died, so I guess they could have died at any age, but she's not 70 like McMahon, put it that way.
No,
she looks about 30.
Her age,
late 20s, 30s.
I wouldn't say her age is really relevant as long as she's, an adult. But, yeah, no, I think McMahon is a sleazeball. I mean, you look at all the years with the Divas, I mean, has he fucking paid to sleep with some of them? Maybe, but at the end of the day, if it's consensual and these women are agreeing to it, then what are we supposed to believe now that women aren't capable of making up their own minds? Or are women so, fragile that, people should make decisions for them? I mean, if they agree to do something, they agree to do something. Oh, McMahon took advantage. Why couldn't she have took advantage of McMahon?
So
how come she didn't take it? Why is it always the guy that took advantage?
Oh, because her parents died. Come on. Let's move on here.
Maybe she used her parents as a way to get a job. Sympathy card.
Yep.
I mean, we'll never know, but it's always the guy that is, painted in a bad light. Jimbo BDC said, I saw a text and a video, and she sounded like she was agreeing with it all. There was nothing in it that looked like she was forced to do anything, but there's still plenty of stuff to come. I haven't seen a video. Or maybe you mean you've seen a text in a video, which is probably the same text we've seen. Yeah, look, she referred to McMahon as baby in the text, and she says that she would do the threesome next week. I mean, if you're being raped, you don't agree to that shit.
No. Yeah, because it's like a week in advance. It's not like you're in a room and you've been forced to agree or something, but yeah, I mean, the text in the video must have been someone else's video talking about it, like we did.
Yeah, Dr. Cat said, the funny part about your comment is you're saying you believe it all. If all that is true, then Vince goes to jail and loses all kind of money in a civil case. In the USA, you can't agree to anything under distress and mental abuse. Vince could have had her in a bad mental state because it sounded like he destroyed her self-esteem down to nothing. Based on what? He destroyed her self-esteem based on what? I mean, that's just... That's a reach, that is.
Sounds like she was into it.
That's unproven.
Yeah, it's completely unproven. Maybe she's trying to use that now at the end of it as a weapon. You see that all the time though. That people try to claim mental health issues and try to get a manslaughter plea if it's a murderer.
I mean, we could claim Benoit had mental health issues, but he murdered his family, so it's irrelevant, really.
Yeah. Now here, maybe at the end of this relationship, she's clocked on, I've been getting shat on by pensioners here. They're saying, what the fuck was I doing? And then she's come up with this master plan. Because here, everyone in life does something you regret and you think in the holy fuck, well, why did I do that? Maybe she's just thought of that in the future and then tried to play the mental health card. Because let's be real, 2020s, the mental health card is, everyone's got that card. See the way every, pack of cards has got 52? There's fucking 53.
A couple of Joker cards in there. The mental health one is the big trump card. Godless Scummer said, I'm not a lawyer, and my limited knowledge of employment laws applies only to the UK, but I do have a little experience in dealing with corporate disciplinary procedures. If the US is anything like the UK, then it's not just a simple matter of innocent until proven guilty. People need to realise that corporate investigations and their ability to fire people isn't the same legal standards that need to be met in a criminal court case. They could probably remove him just on the basis of bringing the company into disrepute, and they'd be well within their rights to do so. Of course, I agree with the principle of innocent until proven guilty, but people think that applies as a universal standard in all situations, and that's simply not the case. Of course, I'm speculating, and as I say, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm telling you that it might not be as straightforward and easy as people want this to be. No, I agree with this. See, once you get accused of something, I think a lot of times you do get like suspended, and the company wants to do a full investigation. So
happens in any workplace.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, we can say innocent until proven guilty, but see, once this claim was made, I don't think McMahon was ever going to stay in either company or stay in the spotlight. He was always going to be like suspended or sent home, resign, and who knows if he's proven innocent, if this is proven to be fake, or if it all goes away, then he could maybe come back to the company at a later time.
Yeah.
But he was always going to have to step away for the time being.
These people compare it to Jericho. Jericho's was a liked tweet. How can Tony Khan honestly suspend Jericho in a liked tweet? If you're suspending people for that, the game's a bogey. Jericho liking the tweet though about the need to bring down the same level of thing that they brought down on Vince. You can see where Jericho's coming from, because at the end of the day, it looks like he did nothing compared to what Vince could have potentially have done. And what they want Tony Khan to do, is fire Jericho, suspend Jericho for an investigation because of a liked tweet. It's ridiculous, that.
True, but McMahon probably would have been suspended if he didn't step down.
No, I agree.
McMahon's stepped down before he's been forced down. Essentially, that's what's happened.
We've seen Slim Jim go and come back, among many other sponsors.
I mean, that could happen to McMahon. McMahon could come back within a year.
Yeah. Should have happened to him a couple of years ago. He did leave because of this thing, and then he came back.
Josh Cahill said, the results on this poll are absolutely ridiculous. Just goes to show a bunch of retards follow you. He's also not even with the company anymore, which is just fucking ridiculous that it's even been questioned. People need to grow the fuck up, honestly. Wait, hold on. The results on this poll are absolutely ridiculous. Just goes to show a bunch of retards follow you. He's also not even with the company anymore, which is just ridiculous, and that's it even being questioned. I mean, this guy can call people retards, but we've been looking at the comments here, and they're a lot better put together. They're more coherent than this little sentence here. And these are people that are basically saying that we need more proof, or we can't just deem McMahon guilty. And of course he was always going to step down. Him stepping down doesn't mean that he's guilty. That was just always going to happen. So yeah. I'm not quite sure what you make of this comment here for Josh Cahill.
Well, he's obviously in the 47%, isn't he?
It would appear that way.
It would appear that way, but I mean, the way he's worded it kind of makes you think it could go either way. But the reality is, but I think when he posted this, it was actually before Finn stood down. Because Finn stood down about 40 minutes into SmackDown, which, if I'm correct, is about 23 hours ago, and this comment's a day ago. So...
Anyway, Rhymes Broom Owen said, I know nothing, but the texts seem like they come from a 13-year-old virgin, not a billionaire, who I would like to think is way too smart to put that into a text. And
see, actually reading it, I can't believe that Vince McMahon would speak like that. And no. I honestly think that some of it does sound like him, like the capital shit, but I think it's been almost manufactured to sound like him, those bits. I think Vince McMahon over text would be short and sweet.
Aye.
I cannot imagine.
No, I think
Vince McMahon, right, at this point when this was going on, during the pandemic, owns this company, probably the guy gets like 1 hour's sleep. Are you trying to tell me he's sending these fully blown fucking paragraphs?
Especially in this situation. I think he'd be keeping this shit tight-lipped. I don't think he'd be going into a lot of detail about this stuff.
And then, like, the whole dildo and name them after superstars. I mean, come on. Really?
And you know what? That kind of makes sense to me, but not Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins.
Is that what he did?
Aye. Huh? Like, see if it's like Hulk Hogan, Austin, The Big Show.
But see, the New York Post...
Big Daddy Dildo or something, Big Daddy D.
The New York Post went with that headline. Vince McMahon named black wrestlers after black dildos and Caucasian wrestlers after white ones. Of course they would go with that headline. They're completely glossing over everything.
Richard Stahl says... He turning out to be like Lars Sullivan more and more. Stuff keeps coming out. Whether or not it's true is yet to be proven. He should have just stayed retired. I mean, what did Lars Sullivan do apart from be gay?
It's a good job you knew who Lars Sullivan was. Who is Lars? Is he in the wrestling business, Big Lars?
That Lars Sullivan, the guy that came out, he looked like a Resident Evil 4 character. And then, remember, he came out, he had like a couple of squash matches, then he disappeared. Apparently he was doing gay porn or some shit like that.
What company was he in?
WWE.
When? What year?
About 6-7 years ago, he got. I think it was.
Him, the
Lars,
big guy.
Aye, a bald guy. He was about 6'4", 6'5", big guy, about 350 pounds.
I was gay.
I think he had red trunks. Apparently, he was doing gay porn or something, and he had mental health issues and Don't know what that's got
I
to do
seen a
with it.
guy on TikTok that said he had to do gay porn to make a living.
Did he admit that?
He said he wasn't gay. He said he had no other option, which sounds a bit gay.
Sounds a bit like JANEL Grant here. Is he going to come out and accuse people of taking advantage of him? Who knows? Fat Dyke says, no offence, bro, but your music taste is awful. Wait, Richard Stahl? Wait, is that Richard Stahl? Is he a musician or?
Lars Sullivan? No idea. No idea. Let's move on to Jason Woodward.
No, Lars Sullivan's the wrestler.
Aye, so who's the fucking singer?
I don't know. I'm saying he says no offence, bro, but your music taste is awful.
I don't know what he's on about.
Unless he means me, because I had some generic non-copyright music on in the background, so his video doesn't get fucked.
About what vid?
This vid. No, wait, didn't this the poll? I must be talking about him. I'm confused.
What are you on? Yeah.
I don't know. Let's move on. Jason Woodward said we need way more information. If he is found guilty, then sentence him. I mean, that's fair. If he... Ozzy Morrison says LOL.
And then one more comment. We've got one more, and I believe it was just a Daniel Bryan chant. Oh no,
Mark
more
Exposed
comments.
says yes, yes. So he probably wants to... Taper Subliminal said no. Now the world 138 says need more info. Sorry, it's innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. I actually replied to this and I said I agree. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works in 2024. When a woman accuses a man of any kind of abuse, and this is fucking true. I mean, people can't deny it. Like when a woman comes out and accuses a man of something, the man is automatically deemed to be guilty.
Yep.
By media, listen. I mean, do you remember like for the entire time under Trump? Everything that was being pushed was believe all women. It wasn't just believe women that come out and say something against Trump. It was believe all women. How can we live in a world where we just believe what a woman says? Do people understand how fucked up and dangerous that is?
Yeah.
Like, what's your thoughts on believe all women?
Well, it's ridiculous.
No, but how can anyone actually push that? See, if you're pushing that, I think you should deserve to be locked up. How can you say... That'd be like saying believe all men.
Aye, it's not the case.
That is retarded.
I know.
How can you believe someone based on what gender they are? Everyone fucking lies. Everyone does bad shit. How can you say believe without even looking at the case? There's sick, weird, left, mentally ill people out there that simply want to believe all women.
No, I seen a thing. What was it? Some woman.
Well, where do we go next? But believe all white guys? Believe all white people?
We can't do that, buddy.
No, but I mean that's a dangerous line when you want to believe someone based on like their skin colour, or based on their race, or based on their gender.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking delusion.
I don't know how anyone who gets on that bandwagon, in my opinion, loses all credibility.
I can't even think what's the closest group you could even say believe all. Kids, maybe. But then kids can
No, kids lie as well, don't they?
Yeah, you can't. I can't spin it. I can't spin this.
So
anyway.
kids never lied about something.
Of course they have.
You know, I think that is mental. I don't know how anyone can push that. Believe all. It just makes zero sense to me.
Well, it makes zero sense to me. What else have we got here?
Ozzy Morrison said he's been accused multiple times. Come on, there's a pattern to his behaviour. The guy is a sick fuck. What has he been? Yeah, he's been accused of having affairs in the past.
Yeah,
I mean that's not illegal. It sucks, right? And it's maybe not fair on Linda and shit like that. But it's not illegal technically, is it? It's
blasphemy, is it?
It's immoral, I guess.
Immoral. Immortal.
Tabor Subliminal says, unless it's Jericho, then the same fans all of a sudden care about evidence.
We don't.
Yeah, I don't know. We both said Jericho stuff sounded like innocent bullshit. Believing someone based on whichever company they're with is just dumb. See, to me, the Jericho stuff sounded like he got Kaylee Ray to come to his hotel room. He tried to make a pass at her. She rejected him, and that was it. Simple. See, that's something that should just be, that's like a story you tell. Yeah, she's like the next day, Chris Jericho invited me to his room and wanted to get with me, but I blew him off. That seems like that's where the legs on that story finish.
The problem is though, see the fact that got blown up so much out of proportion. Of course, this McMahon story.
Yeah, you think how bad that Jericho shit got blown out of proportion? People demanding Jericho be fired, demanding Tony Khan take him off TV. So if people are wanting Jericho to be fired for that, is anybody surprised that the people that are outraged and demanding that McMahon and anyone associated with McMahon be released and be sent to prison over this?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, as much as you can understand the outrage just based on how warped people and demented people are. It's insane. Taper Subliminal says, which is unfortunately the case. I agree. Now the world said, I said the same thing for Jericho, innocent until proven guilty. Taper Subliminal says, good, stay consistent. Selfcare says, Brian Kohlberger has entered the chat. I don't know who Brian Kohlberger is.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. Is he a draw?
Christy Moreland says, you're so right. It's so wrong. That's why I stay single. Bored Now says, I disagree. I think if anything, we've moved into victim blaming and discouraging future victims from coming forward. I agree with innocent until proven guilty, but when the allegations are this serious, they should be taken seriously. If you or I were accused of this, it would be stand up to be suspended from work pending investigation. Why should Vince be any different?
No, we're not saying Vince shouldn't have been. We just literally explained why it is. Yeah, it happens everywhere.
Definitely. If a normal person was accused of this, or accused of theft, or accused of any sort of, shady stuff in their employment, in their line of work, then they will be suspended until the investigation is carried out. That's completely normal. But what we're saying is McMahon is he's innocent until proven guilty, and from the evidence that we've seen, it does look like it was consensual. It doesn't look like the way this JANEL Grant is claiming it was. And I mean, I don't think you can possibly say that we've been moved into victim blaming the world. That's not the way the world is.
We're getting further away from victim blame.
Yeah, I mean, we're as far away from victim blaming as we've ever been, and we are at the stage now where you have to prove your innocence. It used to be innocent until proven guilty. Now for men, it's guilty until proven innocent.
Absolutely, and I think that is a perfect way to end this video.
It's not, because there's a few more comments.
Is there? I think there ain't. Oh, you've done me dirty there, Fog Wrestlerites. Like Brandon.
Exactly. Plus, from what they said, sounds like these people willingly slept with him. They could have quit when it happened and filed a report. Instead, wait until now for money. Board Now replied to Christy Moreland, said, that's why you're a sexist pig by the sounds to me. Men screw around just as much, probably more than women. Yet in your mind, that's more acceptable. I don't think the guy said that. I think the guy literally just says, that's the reason he doesn't get in relationships. That's why he stays single. I mean, women accuse men of doing stuff like this way more than men accuse women.
Yeah, hands down, 100%.
I'd say, even like when you look at school teachers and stuff like that, see when a woman school teacher like has a relationship with the pupils, she very rarely goes to prison. In fact, she actually gets like glorified and stuff like this, and you'll see people on social media be like, oh, why didn't I have a teacher like that when I was younger? And especially if she's hot, they'll like treat her to be some sort of...
Look, Lydia, right? Darts player 16, 17. Someone held up a sign. Woman, come see me when you're 18. Reverse the roles. Reverse the fucking roles. If a grown man, is saying to a 16-year-old girl, come meet me when you're 18, jail time. Rightfully so.
Yeah, but like, back to the whole teacher thing, because people don't have a clue who Littler is, alright? But the teacher thing, see when a hot female teacher does this, like a 14 or 15-year-old like boy, a pupil in school, they do. People are like, oh, I wish she was my teacher. They talk about how hot she is, but when if a male teacher does it with like a female pupil, it's, oh, he's a pedo, he's a nonce.
When both are wrong.
Both are wrong, like, but we need to hold people accountable, regardless of gender or colour or anything like that. Board Now says that's pretty sexist. It's not like she's the only one accusing him. Lots of women have come forward. As a rule, women don't make this stuff up. It's not worth the abuse they get. Far worse than someone like Vince gets. So what about Amber Heard?
So no woman's ever made anything up in this guy's eyes?
Oh, come on. Women do make this stuff up.
And men make stuff up as well. Everyone makes stuff up.
Especially when there's financial gain from it.
Exactly. You can't just pretend that... Come on.
What about that woman? Remember that woman with it was so like made up. It's hard to believe it even got taken serious. Was it Brett Canavan or something?
Can't remember.
Brett Canavan?
I know the name, I just can't put a face.
Anyway, that was insane. Brandon Morgan said, I didn't say anything sexist, so don't put words in my mouth. I'm just saying, could I see Vince doing it? Yes, but these people aren't innocent taking hush money. Technology, they could be in trouble as well for prostitution. People make stuff like this up all the time. People need to stop, quit jumping on stuff and look at both sides. It is disgusting and not right. Yes, he should be in trouble, but they aren't innocent either. It's not being sexism. It's playing devil's advocate and giving people a different perspective people aren't seeing. Bored now, saying, how do you know they're not innocent? There's no proof of them doing anything wrong. I say let this be investigated and due process take its course. I don't like this culture of attacking the victims. It discourages future victims from coming forward. If Vince is found to be innocent later on, then fair enough, but he shouldn't be given special treatment. WWE would still be smart to get rid of him. The scandals have piled up, and this brings nothing to the table now. Okay, but you're bored now is saying that you don't like this. You don't like this culture of attacking victims, but you don't know she's a victim yet. You're just assuming she is. There's no proof. She is an alleged victim, and you're basically stating that she is a victim. You've already decided, you've already made your mind up that she's a victim, and you even say it here, you suggest if Vince is found innocent and later on, then fair enough. So you're saying that Vince has to be found innocent? Whatever happened, innocent until proven guilty. It seems like in your mind, you've already condemned Vince McMahon for this, and that the alleged victim is the victim in your eyes. So you're on about, like, we don't know that they're innocent, and that we shouldn't discourage future victims from coming forward, but you've already decided yourself that Vince is guilty here. So essentially what you're doing is you're making Vince a victim by condemning him without, the truth, in my opinion.
Yeah, the problem is, though, most of these women, they wait. It's never a case of they do it straight away. They wait years, decades in some cases, when in reality they should be doing it straight away. That's what, to me... See if a woman came out and done it straight away and there was no money involved, I would like 99% believe her. No, but it's not like she's come here with like tangible proof that's unarguable. Yeah, but this is years after it happened, and it's because she never got the amount of money she wanted. Yeah. So you tell me this ain't a money grab? Right now, right? If I was to say who's the biggest victim between the two of them, I'd be going towards McMahon. Well, McMahon's had to step down. McMahon's basically got the entire wrestling world, a large percent of it, accusing him of being... believing it's 100% true and accusing him of being a rapist and shit like this. So. One, we don't know if these texts are actually McMahon, and two, like we explained earlier, there's nothing that goes completely against him. Apart from that one line that is a wee bit on the blurred lines, but it's not exactly the most horrendous shit we've ever seen. Like you said, could be roleplay. Yeah, like we need proof. She's not brought forward any evidence that's a slam dunk on Vince. Board now is saying, how do we know these women aren't innocent? Well, how do you know McMahon's not innocent? Simple as that. Yeah. So you're saying that we shouldn't, we shouldn't like condemn women or condemn the alleged victims, but yet without any sort of proof, you're pretty much willing to condemn Vince McMahon to being guilty. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah, and then Brandon Morgan finished with, I'm not attacking anyone, I'm just stating a different perspective. People aren't talking about it. Me personally, I don't really care, but there are other people that lie about this all the time. There's people that are honest. I don't know, I wasn't there either. Was anyone in this comment section? I'm just saying a different point of view for people to think about. And it looks like she took some hush money, which is illegal. Also, is taking money for sex. So that is the comments, guys. Yeah, no, for me, like I said it at the start of the video, and I'll say it again one last time. It looks like simply for me that she was quite happy to go along with this. It looks like they did have an affair. It looks like they did have a sexual relationship, and it was consensual up until the point where she was no longer getting the money that she wanted. This was after it ended, and then she decided in her own mind that what happened wasn't consensual, and she decided that she was going to play the victim because she didn't get the payoff that she wanted. That's what it looks like to me. I think that's what it looks like to most people. But look, we'll keep an open mind. We'll see what happens. Probably not going to talk too much more about this unless there is more news or like more information that comes to light, because I think we've pretty much said everything we can about the situation, and it looks like the McMahon era is truly well and done in wrestling. So yeah, WWE going to be very, very strange going forward, but it was always going to come to an end one day. I thought it would take death. I thought it would take death, but nah. Looks like McMahon is out of WWE now. I don't see how he comes back. I don't. Just do not see him getting brought back in. Too much damage is done, regardless of any innocent or guilty verdict on this. But this is never going to go. This is going to be settled with money. Stacks of cash.
And I know this is probably going to be unpopular, but I would go as far as saying, see if you're going to take the payoff, I think you should need to admit that you lied. I think you should need to come out and say that it was, and I know you could argue, well, if you admit that, then you don't get the payoff.
Yeah, I'd argue that.
But
Vince's lawyers would be all over that.
I know, but it just doesn't make sense to me that McMahon would be a shitload out of money and people are still going to think he's guilty anyway. See the whole payoff?
Yeah, but like you said earlier, she could come out and say she lied, and it's not like that news is going to get relayed to everyone.
I know, but I just think if you take the payoff, then essentially what you're admitting, to me, taking a payoff is like, right, well, it didn't happen.
Aye.
Or else you'd want real justice, you wouldn't want money.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened with Epstein's, it's happened with Prince Andrew. I mean, I know we're going to serious levels here.
I tell you this, see if somebody murdered someone I cared about, money wouldn't, give me £10 million, it wouldn't be enough for me. I'd want revenge.
You'd want justice.
So, I don't know why in these supposed, rape cases that money somehow makes up for everything. I don't get it. If it truly happens, then you wouldn't want any sort of money. You would want to take that person down. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts down below. Till then, though, peace.